How many of you, before you go on a listing appointment, email your entire database and say, I'm not sure if this is for you, but I'm about to go list a property, in this part of town. Can't give them the street address because you don't have it secured yet. I'm going to put together a little VIP list. If you or someone you know is interested in a home, it's going to be 4-bedroom, 3-bath, super cute, right? Right here in this part of town, yada, yada, super nondescript. Guess what? People get responses because every listing is going to get you 2 or 3 more buyers, and the 2 or 3 more buyers creates another listing, right? Always go back to this. I had a client, by the way, do a fake tattoo, Chris, of this on her body, and I gave her a year of coaching for free. I was like, that's awesome, right? That's awesome. So that's the first one. By the way, I've got lots of clients that are video first that on the way to the appointment might shoot an Instagram reel with a map of where the house is and say, hey, I'm not sure if this is for you, but I'm about to go list a property up here in this part of Austin. And if you know anybody that wants to, I'm going to have a little VIP list in the little box that you can put on every Instagram reel or story that says, interested or not, yes, no. He puts that there. By the time he shows up, he's got 8 to 10 responses already from people saying, I'm interested. Boy, talk about a reason to create a degree of separation between you and the competition if you're competing on appointments. Number 2, back to throwing mega open houses where you do unopen houses for the neighborhood, right? Chris, I jokingly say, I think my older brother was smoking weed when he wrote down, when one home sells, usually 2 more sell right away in like 1991 for my dad. That script, it's true. It's not the zeitgeist. We all know when one home sells, that's when the market opens up.
You think he was? I knew your brother then.
We know he was. Okay. So if you look down that list, I want to just point out 2 based upon everything that we know that's happening right now. The obvious one is, if you're not building a landing page with all the details of every listing for pre and then modified for post sale, you're making a big mistake. I mean, the DOJ announcement that they really don't want cooperation between you and other agents. Like, it is what it is. Like, that's their central theme right now. Will it happen? Who knows? Who knows? But in the meantime, the rules state, starting August 17th, that you cannot be putting on your broker site all of the fees that you're willing to offer out to the buy side on your listings if you have IDX, causing people to say, well, do I now need 2 sites? My response is, I don't know if I'd build a separate site just to be able to show the fees. I would just have it on every individual listing, and you'll see why in a minute. And then I would say to you, please write this down in your notes. Stop doing just listed cards. They're stupid. Actually, the one that's more stupid, that's probably really bad English, but just go with me on this, is just sold cards. Just listed and just sold. I like first time on the market in 22 years. And then a QR code. First time in the market in 11 years and a QR code. Maybe just a map with a circle that said new listing hitting this part of town and a QR code. Let's not give everything away. Let's cause the people that are interested to take the time to engage with us. Otherwise, take the mailers, light them on fire, throw them in your trash can. It doesn't work. We have to modernize. So, Chris, my other one is, did you hear about your neighbor? So I was in February of this year, I was doing an event, and I said to a very large audience, I'm like, look, just sold cards are stupid. No one ever calls you from them because you say listed and sold in 3 days, got them $45,000 above asking. And then the next line should be, are you even reading this? Because no one reads it. They just go, okay. And then think about this, Chris, for as long as we've been in the business, if you pay attention to consumer behavior, what are they upset about? Hey, you listed and sold it in 3 days and you got them $45,000 above asking price. 3 things go through their head. Number 1, you listed it too low. Number 2, anybody could sell a house in this marketplace. Number 3, maybe I should get my license. I would say just sold cards, the way they're traditionally done, are absolutely horrific. Instead, I'm going to show you guys. So, of course, Chris, you know what happens. Well, what would you recommend? And I happen to have a whiteboard behind me, which is hysterical. It wasn't a chalkboard, thank goodness. And I literally drafted this marketing piece. Did you hear about your neighbor? Did you hear about your neighbor? Now, what I love about this, every time I show it live, the audience will, oh, and I say, oh, yeah, because that's when everybody goes, oh, we knew Phyllis was sleeping around, right? Like we knew some of the gossip that's happening in the neighborhood. This creates curiosity. Did you hear about your neighbor? You flip it over on the other side, scan here to find out the details. So, Chris, you know my client, Stephanie Younger, Compass, #1 team in Southern California, in Los Angeles. To her 11,000 home farm that she's been working for 15 years, she mails 5,700, gets 1952 scans, gets 37 full form fill outs. And of course, you should be asking, what's the landing page look like? Get ready to take some screenshots because all the money is in the landing page. But be clear. See the little bottom down thing below? That's, if your home is currently listed for sale, this is not a solicitation. If you're blah, 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 all the things, that's all the legalese is down there. Notice her face is not on it. Notice it doesn't say Compass or Banana Real Estate or wherever you work. It's very intentional. Did you hear about your neighbor? And then we drive them to a landing page. And the landing page, hey, your neighbor sold for $119,000 above list price. Here's the story. And we go through one at a time. Here's everything we did and how it worked. And then when you get to the end, Chris, these 2 pages are all animated. So, 119 starts at 0 and it rolls all the way up. Offer starts at 0, rolls to 11. Days on market rolls, 0 to 8. It's beautiful. But what I love the most, and huge shout out to Stephanie Younger and her team. Stephanie understands that what most agents would do at this point is like, they would say, call me, or would you like to know the value of your home? Look at the simplicity. Look at the humanness of her language. Do you have a similar goal? Let's chat. Do you have a similar goal? Let's chat. 37 full form fill outs, right? Tom and Kathy Ferry, here's our email, here's our address, yada, yada, yada. And literally, she just texted me a couple days ago, hey, I just sent it again, but I'm now doing it when I take a listing outside of my market, right? Because it's bananas. It's just way better than a traditional, by the way, that's Stephanie, right? Way better than a just sold card. When was the last time you reimagined, you take a listing, how do you market it? You take a listing, how do you market? Notice I didn't have to say, do a crazy video, because that should be automatic. But look at number 9. A hand address, hand stamp, magic buyer letter. We have more buyers than we have inventory. Who else do you know? Maybe with a QR code. Always a good idea. Again, always non-branded. And now, because we're seeing a few of them, look at number 13, Chris. Call every for sale buyer and every expired in the marketplace and say, did you hear about your neighbor? No, what happened? Oh, well, my name is Stephanie and we listed and sold this property. We got it done in this much time and la, 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 la. Oh, well, we tried to sell. Oh, we're for sale. Oh, God, well, let's have a conversation. My point to you is, listings are earned.